Streaming on Twitch. Okay. All I did was plug these in just to make sure the sound levels were all right. Seem okay. I think there's like some like wine. Just not great. Now, what could that be? What could that be indeed? Um, I think if I have this, like, yeah, it makes my voice sound a little less natural. I'm gonna get rid of it. Um, oh, that really sucks. Oh, fuck. Maybe if I narrow the gate a little bit. No, that doesn't seem like it's doing shit. Why is it so freaking? There's just too much background noise for this. Alright, I think I do need to have it on. Okay, how about that? Um, that's still pretty bad, but better than nothing. Okay, good morning, everyone. Let me turn that off. Okay, good morning, everyone. It's Alex. I had to fuck around with the mic settings again, but let's just have our sip before it gets too cold. Our matcha of the day. Mmm, delicious. And if you'll direct your attention to, not that. Wait a second. I know where we are. We're we're on Mac again. Oh no. Yeah, welcome back to the Mac part of the stream. This is why I had to fuck with the the mic settings. Because I have decided the best use of my time today is going to be to in anticipation of my vacation coming up, get the Mac port of the game kind of working in like a pretty reasonable state. Um, so, oh, so here we are. We're going to full send it. Hello, Kele, Kele. We're working on the Mac port of my handmade game here, Escape Velocity. So we're going to start things off. There's a couple of things we need for this. Basically, the whole game is right now split up into a couple different chunks. There's like sort of like the game logic itself. There's sort of like the more abstracted engine stuff, and then there's the implementations of that. Right now, just for Windows, for like rendering with Direct 3D 11, Direct Sound, some like Win32 APIs, and like window management junk, like all in here. So basically, all of this, anything that we need to do that interfaces with an OS API, has got to be redone for Mac here. So I've got a couple of resources to help you this. It's much simpler once you've done this once already. I'm going to move that off to the side. It's much simpler once you've like gotten some experience with this to I think build up another one of these type of platform layers here. This thing needs my freaking fingerprint, of course. I think that just effed everything up. Okay. Okay, here we go. We want that one big. So our friend of the stream, friend of me, Ted Bendixson, who we will try to not pull up any of his proprietary code right now, um, has made a couple of um, cool repos with the purpose of doing exactly what it is we're trying to do today, which is build a Mac OS layer for to be that is as thin as possible for doing like handmade hero style game development. So we're going to go take a look at that. Um, I have actually never done Mac native app dev before. Uh, so yeah, so the hard depend on DX11. Oh, also this thing is totally screwed up now. The depend on DX11 basically is because your options for render are to do like a direct 3D basically, whatever flavor do Vulkan or OpenGL or do like your own like software renderer. Renderer I didn't want to do because I feel like that is just kind of a big rabbit hole that is not going to end up being super useful or performant unless I just sink a massive amount of time into it. Direct 3D, I had some code lying around for it, especially for 11. 11 was quite simple. It lets you just talk to the hardware like with a pretty reasonable interface, um, and not have as much stuff get in the way. With OpenGL on Windows, I have had some problems in the past with it. With OpenGL, I think you have to do a couple of like weird hacks to like get uh like windowing management to work basically, where everything is um kind of uh kind of stuck in a like a console window basically. So you have like some invisible floating handles all over the place because the things are not like playing very nice with each other. Um, and it is I don't know. I did want to get the experience with actually writing to like that more platform specific API because we're also like having to write to all these Win32 APIs anyway for the platform layer. So it just kind of extended out of there. For Mac, what we're gonna do here is, there's a bunch of like NSApp stuff that we're gonna be doing. Um, and then probably do the render API. We're going to be using Metal, so that will be super fun. Okay. So let's get started here. So I think he's got a couple of repos. Check out his series if you're ever interested on YouTube. Um, because this is, I think, the actual repo he's got here that does all of that stuff. But I'm trying to find uh, as well is this, I think. Yes. So no, this is more for like app bundling. So with Mac, there's some things you have to do, right? Like you cannot just build the executable. In Windows, you cannot just build the executable. You can and ship it, but Mac, you have to do like bundle it into an app and notarize it, and do all this like funny stuff to sort of get it to work. I'm trying to see here. I think this is the one we want. Uh, Again, I don't want to pull up any of his proprietary code on stream, so I feel like that's would be very bad of me. Um, we will go grab this one. Yeah, it's a very weird platform, right? Because when you think of Mac, you're like, oh, isn't Mac like just Unix? Isn't it the same as Linux? But not really. Um, you do. So like on Windows, if you do things like the total Microsoft Canon way with like a Visual Studio project and all that, you need like an .rc file that the compiler is going to go like drag crap in from, and that's where you have like your icon in there. Um, but there's like some other process in Mac too to like just sign the code to like, get it to work also. So we're going to add that to our harpoon. So we're going to be dumping all our stuff in there. Um, so there's like a whole bunch of these stupid things. So for Mac, we want to be able to just open up a window here. So he's got like an Objective C thing. That doesn't quite look right. Like what we are looking for. Yeah, here we go. So this is kind of, I think, what we're going to be trying to replicate is this OSX main here. So if we look, we can kind of get a view of what are the magic things that are going to go into it. So of course there's like, you know, the actual like core Mac native app library. So that's like AppKit as far as I'm aware. I don't know what Quartz Core is. That would be good to understand. Um, Core animation. Um, Drawing each frame of an animation for you. Oh, interesting. Um, so this has some sort of metal support. Okay, good to know. Some IO stuff. Everything's got to be a kit or a toolbox, it seems. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. They have their own like game controller API on Magic One. Um, and who knows if that is like just that cannot be just like a D input wrapper or something, right? Like it's got to be like Apple's got to be doing some like special sauce here or like re-implementation of it because there's no way they would just be nice. Only no foundation. What is what's foundation? I'm not familiar. Uh, so let's see. Foundation, like is that an API? Foundation framework. So this is their multi-plat one. Ah, interesting, interesting. Ah, cool. I do think that like that Apple has gone through a number of like different lower level APIs um than Windows, right? Where like Win32 has like it's kind of awful to work with because of how much backwards compatibility crap is in there. Um but it also like means that it kind of just works and has been targetable for forever. Whereas I think like Apple has not really like tried as much where they've done like a couple of like blow everything aways. And to be fair, I think their platform is like that they're trying to expose or the platforms they're trying to let you build onto with those APIs are kind of all over the place too. If it's got like the watch and the TV OS crap, right? Oh, very old. Yeah, interesting. Um, yeah. So we're gonna just try to target, you know, this one because this is what I have source code for, and I think we can kind of understand what's going on here. It's gonna be pretty simple, I imagine, because basically the model of in in our Win32, we can put this on Harpoon too. The model of like what our Win32 targeting stuff is doing is very simple. We are just like initting a window, and you know when you init the window, you have to like all this OOP stuff. So you have to like go shove all this like class information into it for the styling and like what kind of mode it's all running in. And give me a moment while I just set my alarm here. Um, you have to then like register the class, which I think it like goes. Oh, I just tried to go to definition of the this Win32 function. Wow, that was lame. Um, but this like I think that this is doing some like com registering funny business here, where you're like sending in all this data, and then it like you know will go spawn that we go spawn the window, um, and then we just have like a device handle basically. Uh, yeah, I can't open it on Mac. Let me see if there's. I think the easiest way to do this is going to be to pull up yesterday's stream. Let me do that, and I will kill the sound. Uh, so this is kind of like what we're working with here. It's like a 2D um 2D game, all sort of like in with like a physics simulation. There's yesterday me. Basically you have this little spaceship. You're kind of like piloting around, and you have this sort of like impulse control over it to boost. And you're going around like a solar system level that is all that all has like realistic gravitation as part of it. And so I kind of hand wrote all of that from scratch, in C mostly, all of the physics, collision resolution, the gravitation sim itself. And so that was like pretty cool, a lot of fun. Um, and the yeah, but right now it just works on Windows. Uh, I am going to be going on like a vacation on a world tour in as they call it, in like 2 weeks. And what I want to do is not bring my giant Windows laptop that has like a NVIDIA Optimus GPU in it and is huge onto all these airplanes. So what I would like to do is in like the week and a half or whatever until I have to go on vacation, I want to get a minimal working Mac port of the game so I can just do development on my nice little like 13-inch MacBook, which would be awesome. We're gonna be going to like the west coast of the U.S., then up to Canada, and then Italy. So it's gonna be kind of like a cool back and forth. Um, and I'm hoping, hey, like there's some good time in there to squeeze in some game dev stuff because I would love to do that. But yeah, very limited time until until I have to be ready, and at that point, I've got to just go with travel with whatever hardware and code is actually working. And I would so much prefer if if I need to look up Mac APIs and documentation to do it now and not on an airplane. Yeah, no, I tried a little bit with Raylib and SDL. Uh, but part of like the exercise was I actually originally um, built this game on top of a different like little tiny like platform layer called Ooga Booga. This was made by Charlie Malmquist. He is doing right now a project called NowGrep, which is like a super fast native grep replacement. But he used to work with Randy, the like game dev YouTuber, and he created this like this thin like C engine here that's all like kind of handmade hero style, um, to do a bunch of like game dev stuff. So I started off kind of living in here, and if you look, it's like very similar code to like kind of what I've got now. Um, but and I spent like a couple of months, a couple of good solid months going through and writing a bunch of like just games on top of all this platform and like rendering structural code. But what I've kept finding out was that I was running into all these problems with not understanding this stuff like at like a deeper level of how I tried writing like a little Vampire Survivors clone, and I had some horrible performance problems with trying to draw like 10,000 entities onto the screen. I couldn't figure out how what the hell a normalized device coordinate, how to translate that to like my game space just to like get like a mouse. I was like just totally at a loss for a lot of this stuff. So at some point I decided I want to like go in and at least know what is going on for all of these things. And that kind of turned into a big fun rewrite efforts of most of that stuff. And so here we are. The thing I have today is basically that full Ooga Booga like platform rewritten with all of my code. It's like pared down quite a bit, but this is like, as opposed to being like an open source more library, this is like the version of it that I know and understand, which has been huge. Except for Sean Barrett's code, because I didn't really want to write a PNG decoder. Um, you suffered a similar thing with a bunch of if defs, despite using a wrapper library. Um, yeah, I'm sure it is like, yeah, there's definitely going to be, as part of this uh getting the Mac platform to work, um gonna be some fun like re if def or if defing a bunch of code that I've got here. Um but it's something I'm willing to swallow the cost of, because I'd like to know. I actually have to do some, like, at least iOS native stuff for work these days. File system is just enjoyable. I'm sure. Um, but I would like to know. I think of like the big software platforms. Mac is the one I am actually the least familiar with. I've spent a great deal of time doing like Linux, um, not like full UI stuff dev, but like, individual program dev and like a bunch of mobile stuff. But file system CPP API returns different type based on OS. Oh, I'm sure because they've all got like their different way of like exposing that, right? Of like a file handle is not the same thing. File API. Um, yeah, like there's going to be some like magic type here, and part of like the way that Ooga Booga was written was to try to mitigate a lot of this stuff ahead of time by and let me see if I can pull it back up again, by creating these sort of versions of a lot of these types that were kind of owned by the library instead, and were aliasing stuff, including a bunch of and that included a bunch of like C runtime functions. There were a bunch of C runtime functions that Charlie tried very hard to not actually link from the real C runtime and just re-implement uh, directly over like Win32. So if like I guess like an example here would be uh like I think he like re-implemented assert. Okay, that didn't work. Oh yes, strings. So yeah, and there's like some UTF-8 to UTF-16 crap going on too, right? Like that I think was a problem. That was certainly a problem with the way he's generating stuff. Um, and with it is going to be a problem with the way that I try to translate this from one to the other. Um, but yeah, that's I don't feel like at this point like I need to go super duper crazy here to like just get a game working. Um, so our friend Ted, he wrote this game called Moose Solutions, which I don't have installed. But Moose Solutions is like a Sokoban style game where you kind of are, pushing a bunch of blocks and avoiding like these charging moose trying to kill you. And this game actually was written in this is the game that Ted writes on his Handmade Hero for Mac stream. And so it actually does all of these things. It has this like very tiny uh like platform layer with, a lot of game stuff abstracted underneath. And so this is like a multi plat game to iOS, Mac, Windows, and Linux through Proton. Uh, oh no, I did. I used Sean Barrett's library for text rendering. That did suck. That really sucked. I'm using his TrueType library because I I looked. I did like a 1 day audit of like how much garbage I would have to do of like, okay, I have like the ability to draw stuff from a sprite atlas and I can figure that out, but I do not want to just like shit around and try to decode like glyph size, like kerning and baseline information myself. I will learn how his code like uses that and not screw around anymore. Um, oh yeah, no, I like supporting multi languages is like not even, and that's like not even close to being on the roadmap here right now. We have so far to go to get to that point. Um, all right, so I think it's time to go here. So we're gonna look at like the main um in in Ted's code here, and we're gonna try to like summon from the wherever in the docs here. I think basically what we're gonna be doing is we're like just creating like an NS window, and this is the equivalent of this is the window handle, right? And then it's going to be probably probably opening up like or initting like whatever stuff metal wants you to init, and then pointing metal at that device context or at the handle for the window, and then I will have to rewrite sort of my most of my like vertex buffer creation code is in like my platform agnostic layer, but at some point it actually has to get dumped into like mapped into GPU memory, which is all done through Direct3D. So that will have to get, excuse me, replicated. Convenience in it. What the hell is a convenience in it? Oh Lord, welcome to Apple Land. They're awesome here. Okay, so here's what we've got to do a couple things. So we need to, I guess, create an NSRect first that it's looking like that and then assign that. What is a CG rect? Core foundation. Ah, well there it is. There we go. So we found the alias on top of the thing. Um, so we're gonna have to probably create this rect here and then dump inside it the window dimensions. Um, we will just start with opening the window. I don't know if we're gonna get to that today. My stream ends at like 8:15, so we'll have to speed run this part. Um, but let's see. So yeah, so um, so what is going on here? And then there's like all this delegate stuff because yeah, everything goes back to foundation. I just finished reading the first three foundation books actually, so I'm kind of sick of hearing the word foundation. This may have been a mistake to do the Apple dev right now. Um, let's see. So I don't know what an NS bundle is. That would be good to know. So that would be nice of it. So it's an interface on an NS object that has what in it? Um, some paths? Like, what is it supposed to be? Is this like, um, what the what the heck is this thing? Oh, we're just gonna be looking up a bunch of NS stuff, aren't we? Apps, frameworks, plugins. It's just something. It's just a thing you're loading. So that's cool. And we probably need it. Okay. Executable path. Okay, we can kind of understand what that is. I think that is actually going to be inside of the app, right? Of the app has the dot app is like zipped up version of like an executable that meta inf crap and then the actual data, as far as I understand. Um, okay, so let's see. He's allocating. Doing some allocation here for a window delegate, and I think the window delegate is like the event handler. String, string by deleting last path component. Yeah, that is a nice one there. We can we can blame Apple for that. Um, all right, then we've got to create the rect. So let's see who is screen rect. So screen rect is just this. Um, I don't know why he's uh doing that. That's okay. And I know like Apple coding. Like I've done like 2 months worth of Swift native dev, and I know that like Apple loves just shoving at signs everywhere into their code, which is like very annoying. So no one else does that crap. Um, no one else should do that crap. Um, okay, so all right. Then we actually go. I think this is TED code. Yes, so he's got an actual like this game window is his window, but it's also an interface over um an NS window. So I will probably need to learn how Objective C interfaces work, unfortunately. I also am not quite sure um with the how when you compile this stuff, like there is Objective C++, so there's some like magic going on in there as to like how that actually works. And like we don't really need to link to that stuff right now because we're not targeting Mac App Store. Um, but I'm trying to find like what compiler flag is actually telling this crap to do. Um, like like what is the version of the compiler that we're using? Okay, no, that's the linker. Oh wait. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, so it is C++, but then how does the metal or sorry, how does the Objective C stuff get compiled? Is like just a version of Clang that you can get on Mac. Does that just read Objective C code and just make it work? It's very possible. It's very possible. We'll come back to that. Um, some platforms should be supported through Wine. Yeah, you're telling me. At work, um, I have to support I have to support like a Tegra device platform. Let me tell you, Tegra is one of the most annoying freaking platforms to develop for ever. Oh my god, it's just a nightmare of like magic. Not only like are you cross compiling to a different architecture most of the time, but you're also having to run everything through a bunch of like proprietary NVIDIA libs and then third party like hardware vendor like drivers and crap. It's just like ridiculous, ridiculously awful. Um, okay. So okay, here this is also we wanted. So it actually looked pretty like I think that actually is it seems. Like that's pretty much all he had to do the window. Um and then we go into metal here, and then metal obviously you are gonna have to. What do you do for work? I'm at a robotics company, robotics startup, so we've got some fun stuff. I'm like ostensibly a DevOps engineer, but I kind of have to go all over the place and do lots of fun stuff. It basically means that I work on everybody else's code base. So like a bunch of like stuff on Tegra, on like stuff running on Ubuntu, and then a bunch of like native crap where or mobile stuff and web stuff we're deploying all over the place. So doing living the cross-platform lifestyle is kind of my job too. But I don't get to do things I don't get to do things at this kind of like really fun level at work so much. So I take it where I can. Oh, I'm sure. It's like uh, my previous job. I was trying to do DevOps at a different like sort of embedded company, but like um all of our like our target platform were like giant server racks running not even like Windows Server, like regular desktop like Windows 10. And oh my god, that sucked so much. that, that sucked so much, dude. Um so I guess like yeah, so when we init metal, we have to go create like the V buffer. We need to go make like a render target. That's all. They want you to create like some sort of like top level device object to go do all this stuff. Yeah, that electron microscope Windows, bro. We were just booting up like a at work. We were trying to boot up and like an oscilloscope yesterday to like just poke at the thing. And it took like 3 minutes for this thing to boot up because I suspect it was trying to Windows update or AV scan something. I was like, I just want to probe this point here, bro. What is going on? Anyway, fun stuff, fun stuff. So yeah, we have to like there's all this like pipeline and it crap we have to do. This all looks very familiar. And then we would go in and like all of set up all of the memory that like the game layer stuff needs to own. So I'm pretty sure Ted and I are doing kind of the same thing where we're as teams on it. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm sure it had solitaire too. Um, but like Ted and I have both kind of done our memory management, all memory arena style for like giant blobs of stuff. So he's got like one to load his sprite sheet for, and then one to like I think load kind of like his entire like platform lib. It seems like dynamically. Then one, I think that's what he's doing. Oh no 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 no! These are this is a function point. These are function pointers. Never mind. I'm full of it. I'm full of that. But it is go those function pointers are going into some like top level game memory block that he is managing, and that's pretty. I'm not even doing the function pointer thing. I'm doing it stupid if def stuff. Objective C have garbage collection. Um, I don't know. Actually, that would be good to know. Objective C, because that would be a problem. I'm a little. I would be. I'm. Oh, been deprecated. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So it seems not anymore, but there is some sort of like weird in between here where you can have like Objective C++, right? Um, because if it's just doing reference counting, this is just kind of similar to like smart pointers. It seems to me. Um, but they have their own magic version of it. Uh, yeah, I would hope the goal is to not be doing that, right? With like game stuff, so your game just does not go out to lunch garbage collecting for something. Yeah, that so like there a good deal. I think of like some of this top level code. It's all in Objective C, all these files. But I do think there is like all of his like core game code here is just in um like they're all CPP files. So I that's something I don't know is quite how like when you just throw this stuff all to Clang, how it is doing that. Like what the heck is it actually doing there? Because obviously there's a bunch of like Objective C specific stuff like syntax like in this code here. Um, but I don't know like if you just throw that to the compiler, like what it tries to generate out of that. I have no idea. And this is not really the canon like Mac native app developer way to do things of like like we're not UI kitting stuff. We're not like we're not writing it like all in Objective C or Swift or whatever. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I thought actually Objective C++ would compile all of these objects and then assemble them into one thing, um, into one one executable. So I assumed there was not any of that going on, but I could very well be wrong. Um, because again, like the linker that we were looking at in that build script, like the linker is not or no, so we have the yeah, this compiler step is just using this that OSX main as the entry point, and then it's just going through all the crap that that it goes through there. Uh, actually, let me see the XC run. What is what is XC run? This may be is that shader compiling? Yeah, that's another thing I have to learn is I would so love if I didn't have to maintain two different versions of the shaders, but I think that's not going to happen. Oh well. Um yeah, like what the hell does that do? What is XZ run? Um what are we looking at here? What are we looking at? Hmm, hmm. Custom tool chain. Um, I'm gonna guess this is shader compiling because that doesn't look like the linker. Okay, because here's like where he's generating some linker stuff, and where he's just linking to the lib, the Steam lib, for because you need that for if you're deploying to Steam, right? Um, C++ 11, yeah, and like that's passed into Clang 2 OSX LD flags. Oh, that's what I want to know. OSX LD flags. Hmm. Hmm. Is that an environment variable? That's not an environment variable, right? No. Called C methods with Swift. With Swift. Yeah, I think Swift actually this Swift syntax is like backwards compatible with Objective C is what is kind of like what I understand. Um it's kind of I think it's like a Kotlin Java thing. I think that's what they tried to do. I could be wrong. I was in like I was in high school when they came out with Swift, and I was like building a native app in Objective C at the time. I remember just that was a rough time to be a high school crappy programmer writing stuff for Apple. Okay. Oh yeah, here's this notarized thing. So okay, XXE is like just some like magic runner of all of their things. Um, because I think like you even need to like just sign the code to this is like a code signing thing, but I think you even need to sign the code to like get it to run like locally inside an app bundle. I think that that's the level of kind of like lockdown that Apple has over doing that stuff. Yeah, no, it's a weird platform. I don't know like how many people even do Mac native app stuff like for real because like so many people are just doing multi-plat slop, right? Um or like Electron slop. Um including myself. I'm not above writing Electron slop. Um, but yeah, I don't like I imagine the user base of like Win32 uh native programming is way bigger than the Mac one. But I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Anyway, we are kind of low on time here. So let's go in and try to at least write a line of code. Who was send? Yeah. Um, let's see. So we want to do this. Let's see if like we just call this like if we just grab this or we need a main. If I just grab this, um, and we will not even go that far. If I just do that, like, will that let me open a window here and just have it work? And we will grab, probably all of these. Start. We'll start with that. Okay. I really hope all of these paths resolve correctly. Oh, thank God. Don't have to screw around with that today. It's awesome. Um, main bundle. Why doesn't it like it? It may not like it because I have the wrong LSP here for what's going on. All right, we don't need this. Go over that. Yeah, I'm a little suspect that we might have to switch this to be an MM. Yeah, we most certainly must, right? We most yeah, there we go. That got that to work. Um, I don't know if it's actually possible. No, it did not. Clang Clang did not like any of that stuff. Okay, this was not in that one file we were just looking at. This window delegate. Where's main? So he's got that. Oh, you know what? Yeah, Vim LSP also just doesn't like it when you are trying to look into someone else's uh like workspace at the same time, and it just because it cannot the LSP cannot figure out um where the root of the thing is to like look from anymore, which is kind of annoying. I don't know if there's like if anyone has figured that out yet, has spent the time to make that work, because that would be awesome. I waste so much time having to open up a second Vim just to do this bullshit. Okay, so that did not help. Um, am I stupid? Main window delegate. Main window. Did this not? What is going on? Oh crap, that's my alarm. All right, we'll try for like 2 more minutes here. Use Tmux paints. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I'm yeah. Let's see. This text is also like looks really shitty here on WesTerm for some reason. I don't know why. Um also I don't know why that did not work. Why telescope failed. Oh crap. God, I don't want to have to do this right now here, bro. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't need like a specific objective C one, right? I don't. I may. It would suck a lot if I did. Um. Well, I don't see it just looking. Let's hope. I have like Swift Lint. I actually don't know which one is if that attached or not. Plane should resolve. Okay, that's good. At least you got performance anxiety. Yeah. Also, why did those fail? Wait, this couldn't find NPM. Oh god, this is like the last thing I want to do right now. is this, bro? NPM 11. That might be a problem. How did that not? Okay, all right, who cares? Telescope work. God, ah, so stupid. Um, because that might be something I broke. Ah, fuck me. All right, well, we're not finding that right now. 10 p.m. Yeah, yeah, bro. Not great. Not great at all. Oh, here we go. Like that seems like something we want to have at the end. Oh, I already have that. Wait, no, this is not my code. This is my code. Wait, this is not my code either now. Oh crap. um, oh, I didn't know I could do that in Harpoon. Oh, oh, look at that. Um, that was a little. I've never tried that before. Um, okay, here we go. It still doesn't like that though. We definitely need that, probably. I guess, because that seems like an entry point to something. Um, I don't think we need any of this stuff yet, because we're not even trying to do any metal or any magic stuff. We're just trying to open the window here. I'm not even trying to connect it to anything. Um, mm, mm, mm. Metal view delegate. Do oh oh, here we go. There's some extra window styling stuff we did not grab. So let's grab that. Oh no, I did grab that. Okay, let's get rid of that end of it's not supposed to be there. So yeah, like that. Oh, oh, standard arg not found. Serious? Um, there's no way that the Mac SDK, Mac OS SDK does not have like the like the libc in it, does it? There's no way. Um, okay, I will need to go figure out what's wrong with my BIM here and another time. In the meantime, I'm just gonna commit this. Uh, non working point first day. Okay, there we go. So at least we'll get that nice little um, GitHub streak tracker for the day, which is really what this is all about. Um, but thank you. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for watching, especially you, Kelly. Um, I had had some fun chatting with you. I thought that was cool. I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed the stream as well. We are here pretty much every weekday morning, uh, doing our fun handmade game dev. Usually there's unfortunately the next couple of these are gonna kind of look like me stumbling over Mac API stuff for a bit. And there actually will be no stream tomorrow because I'm gonna be out midday for you. Oh, fun stuff, fun stuff. Um, so thank you very much for watching. I gotta go to work now, and I will see you next time. Take care.